On behalf of the Pro Bono Federation and Institution, as well as on behalf of the Colorado Republican Ethics Committee, we believe that Summit County, Maris Davies and Altitude Law, Summit Resort Group, also known as SRG, and Mountainside Board Homeowners Association, are involved in crimes against the state of Colorado and its senior citizens. This is manifested by financial crimes against Maris Davies' own clients in acts of real estate racketeering and identity theft, thus violating Colorado Revised Statutes 18-4-401. Colorado, State Kiowa, laws of homeowners associations are being violated as well. And Maris Davies, Altitude Law, represents the HOA, Mountainside, and the property management company Summit Resort Group, SRG. Since Ms. Davies and Altitude Law were engaged by Mountainside HOA, she has engaged in discriminatory practices and multiple illegal activities, violating CO Bar Rules 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, and 1.10 for conflicts and Rule 8.4. The fraudulent transfers, no-dollar transfers involving real estate schedules number 1102273 and number 4008603 illustrates her extortion racket, insurance fraud through embezzlement, and bad actors. We urge authorities to investigate, audit, and prosecute Ms. Davies and Altitude Law for their gross misconduct and illegal activities, violating 4.1 and CRS Section 18-17-104. These activities violate numerous federal laws, including 18 U.S.C. Sections 1028, 1961 RICO, 1956, and 1957, and have led to and inflicted significant harm on the Summit County, Colorado community of retired citizens. We believe Maris Davies and the Altitude Law firm has committed real estate crimes including identity theft, CRS 18-4-401, extortion, and money laundering. They are involved in representing the HOA board and management company, involved with fraud at Mountainside, embezzling over $250 million through stolen land titles and water rights, equity skimming, CRS 18-5-802, and bribing local officials to obstruct justice and silence victims. We believe after multiple surveys and witness testimony, Ms. Davies and Altitude Law have repeatedly obstructed municipal and HOA elections through voter intimidation and bribery, most recently influencing the cancellation of the 2024 Frisco, Colorado, municipal elections through acts of Title 18. Criminal Code Section 18-1-101 through Section 18-26-102, cybercrime. There is overwhelming proof that Maris Davies and Altitude Law have exploited their management role to manipulate title transfers, evade taxes, and launder cartel money, violating the Corporate Transparency Act and HUD regulations against discrimination. Section 18-8-706. And we believe that Altitude Law and Maris Davies have grossly influenced multiple cancellations of the Frisco, Colorado municipal elections, as well as negatively impacting the Mountainside homeowners elections, again in 2018 and in 2024, due to voter intimidation of Summit Resort Group against its own real estate management clients. And, through egregiousness and misrepresentation, Ms. Davies has engaged in and violated Colorado Revised Statutes 18-5-802 regarding equity, skimming through real estate title fraud, identity theft, and conversion of stolen title transfers. And we also believe that Ms. Davies has colluded with Summit Resort Group, and they have engaged in, quote, fixing, undermining criminal prosecutions by withholding evidence or failing to appear at judicial hearings, for bribery or as a personal favor to protect real estate fraud, bribing Frisco officials, to engage in equity skimming and real estate title fraud and identity theft regarding Summit County, Colorado Real Estate Schedules 1-1-0-2-2-7-3 and Schedule Number 4-0-0-8-6-0-3. And, through audits of United Water and Sanitation's public accounting books, there exists proof of over $250 million in real estate and water rights embezzlement through extortion and bribery by Ms. Davies and Altitude Law, violating Colorado Bar Rules of Professional Conduct 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, and 1.10 for egregious conflicts of interest. And we believe strongly this violates Colorado Revised Statute Section 18-3-207 And there is compelling evidence through surveys and witness testimony that in associating with the private political party United Water and Sanitation, Maris Davies, with Summit Resort Group have acted in malice and acted in retaliation against senior citizen homeowners, specifically those of which are Ms. Davies' clients through Mountainside HOA, and these clients are discriminated against and victimized by the real estate crimes of stealing land rights through $0 title transfers. By utilizing racketeering techniques against diminutive senior citizens, Maris Davies and Altitude Law attempts to create distress for its clients in an attempt to steal their real estate rights. She and Summit Resort Group is part of a greater RICO and racketeering real estate laundering pyramid scheme. Ms. Davies uses criminal real estate racketeering techniques to retaliate, menace, defame, to slander, cyber attack, and to libel those real estate clients who have been victimized by their $0 title transfers, with no transfer tax as a form of tax evasion. Ms. Davies intentionally retaliates against her victims, violating U.S.C. Section Title 18, Section 1961. And with Ms. Davies and the Altitude Law Firm, the Summit Resort Group engages in RICO schemes, along with the Summit County Association of Realtors, and engages other associate real estate associates, like white-collar gangs, to infiltrate and defraud their very own clients, who are also business owners who have primary residence real estate managed by Summit Resort Group. And Ms. Davies is intentionally retaliatory and abusive to her clients and behaves with discriminatory acts of malice. We believe there is strong evidence that Altitude Law intentionally defrauds its clients through misrepresentation, violating HUD rules against discrimination. We protest that Mountainside Homeowners Association does not exist in the Better Business Bureau database, with Maris Davies' representation, so as to keep false immunity from having legitimate racketeering complaints filed with the BBB and the Colorado Attorney General's office. And as the Colorado Republican Ethics Committee, we also believe Maris Davies and Altitude Law holds their real estate clients in a false light while embezzling their clients' real estate titles, as is evidenced in Summit County, Colorado Real Estate Schedules 1, 1, 0, 2, 2, 7, 3, and Schedule Number 4, 0, 0, 8, 6, 0, 3. You will see multiple fraudulent title transfers to United Water and Sanitation, a Colorado private political party and special district. And Ms. Davies and the Summit Resort Group intentionally are behaving in an obstruction of justice violating CERS-18-8-102 by retaliating against those homeowner clients who complain about real estate fraud to their title, and retaliating against those homeowners who complain about elections fraud and complain about drinking water contamination at an HOA level and small-town municipal election level. And we believe that Maris Davies is violating CRS 18-4-401 as Summit Resort Group and has bribed local officials in Frisco, Dillon, and Summit County, Colorado to obstruct justice. And Ms. Davies, a stockholder in Altitude Law, victimizes those involved in their land frauds and identity theft, land transfers for $0 with no transfer tax, in collusion with United Water and Sanitation. The private political party United Water and Sanitation, who engaged in land fraud, is missing from TurboTax regarding Colorado's special districts while holding stolen land title at the same time. And this represents a computer crime against the state of Colorado, violating CRS 18-5.5-102 Section 1A, committed by the Summit Resort Group and Maris Davies. And we believe strongly that this real estate fraud represents over $250 million of real estate title theft, as is demonstrated in Summit County Real Estate Schedule 1, 1, 0, 2, 2, 7, 3, and Schedule Number 4, 0, 0, 8, 6, 0, 3, missing from TurboTax Colorado Special District software. This is all land title stolen by United Water and Sanitation Special District, a private political party. And we believe that Maris Davies and Summit Resort Group are repositories for international organized crime cartel money and tax evasion in the Mountainside Homeowners Association through the private political RICO organization, United Water and Sanitation. Ms. Davies is holding the conventional senior citizens of Mountainside Homeowners Association hostage to real estate title fraud. We believe that Maris Davies and Altitude Law are assisting the Summit Resort Group, located across the street from Uptown 240, which is specifically involved in the Dillon, Colorado land fraud scheme called Uptown 240, also victimizing senior citizens, as noted on Denver 7 News. And in addition to stealing and fraudulently conveying title and converting the stolen title from victims on the street called Hunter Circle in Frisco, Colorado, then as a RICO vehicle, Maris Davies with the Summit Resort Group, walking distance from Uptown 240, uses deceptive real estate trade and marketing practices to convert and resell the real estate to buyers in Ponzi pyramid schemes, violating U.S.C. Section Title 18, Section 1956, and Section 1957 for tax evasion and money laundering. And, as a front for a Mountainside HOA, Maris Davies has engaged in violations of the Corporate Transparency Act by engaging in Mountainside Homeowner Association election fraud to conceal real estate skimming against its clients, and has violated 18 U.S. Code Section 35, imparting or conveying false information through their various agents to defraud the Corporate Transparency Act and HOA insurance companies who quietly represent clients who have experienced identity theft. And then, in an example of cartel geopolitics with the United Water and Sanitation Private Political Party, with SRG, there is contaminated water, poisoned water contamination delivered by United Water and Sanitation. In order to hide land fraud to control water rights for profit, with their cash investments, Altitude Law has engaged in voter intimidation within the Mountainside Homeowners Association, and we have evidence to believe that SRG and Maris Davies have also actively engaged in bribery to cancel the 2024 Summit County Frisco, Colorado municipal elections, where the Mountainside Homeowners Association is located, violating 18 U.S. Code Section 594 for intimidation of voters. Summit Resort Group. We believe and pray that Summit Resort Group, Altitude Law, and its agents should be investigated, audited, and prosecuted under the Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. And, as an example of negative geopolitical influence, the multiple $0 land transfers in Frisco, Colorado, has resulted in breaking the Google Search Maps database, which is connected to the Colorado GIS database, and Hunter Circle is erroneously double-mapped in Frisco, and also a second bogus Google map shows the street Hunter Circle mapped in Breckenridge, Colorado, which is a completely different town. This double mapping of cities mapped to the Mountainside HOA violates 18 U.S. Code Section 35, imparting or conveying false information. According to the Department of Justice at their website, the double bogus mapping of Frisco as Breckenridge, Colorado is a cyber attack against the state of Colorado. We believe this instance of Google search results double mapping is due to Maris Davies and Altitude Law's real estate fraud and Mountainside HOA board members to hide the real estate embezzlement behind the broken Google Search Maps database. We believe Ms. Davies and Altitude Law has colluded to cancel the Frisco, Colorado elections with attorney Phil Weiser, so as to keep Phil Weiser in power as he is running for governor while attorney general. And you will note that Maris Davies represents Mountainside HOA, and we protest that the Mountainside HOA board in collusion with Summit Resort Group is obstructing justice in federal court, where the Federal Department of Justice is suing Google for incorrect Google real estate search results. As there are incorrect Google search results in the Mountainside HOA in Frisco, Colorado, Maris Davies and Altitude Law are obstructing justice in federal case 1:20-CV-03010. We believe the Summit County, Colorado bogus mapping of Google Maps, racketeering, and tax evasion are all tied to canceling the Frisco, Colorado 2024 and 2018 municipal elections in order to specifically violate the president's executive order to protect the integrity of American elections. And in closing, again, we pray that Maris Davies and her organization Altitude Law and Mountainside HOA and Summit Resort Group and the private political party United Water and Sanitation, including their agents, should be investigated, audited, and prosecuted under the Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act.